This is why I can't grow facial hair. Hello to the internet, my name is Craig Montgomery, and I'm here today to talk about the things that make you say, who even am I? So recently I've been ruminating on commitments, the power of them and the weight of them. So the last year of my life has been incredibly transformative. I'm doing things right now that I never thought I'd be able to do, ever. I'm going to the gym 3 times a week, seeing a trainer. I make most, if not all, of the food that I eat. I've released a new YouTube video every Tuesday for the past almost 10 months. And I'm taking on some really important projects at work without spiraling into a massive anxiety-driven fit of rage. And yes, I'm saying some of this to be self-congratulatory. I think it's really important to celebrate your successes. And these are things that have been really successful steps towards building the life that I want to live. But I'm also sharing this because a year ago, I was petrified to step into a gym. I was ashamed of how weak I was physically, I was scared of the equipment, and I was overwhelmed at how complicated exercise can be. I barely ever cooked. I sustained myself on frozen pizza and cereal, like an adult. And I regularly had panic attacks at work, even though I was handling a pretty less stressful workload. I don't think that there's a cure-all for issues, so I'm not even gonna try and present some sort of regimen that worked for me that'll work for you too, because that's no. But I can say this. Change really does happen slowly and then all at once. Being where I am now on my journey and looking back from where I was a year ago when I kind of started walking in this direction at the beginning of the summer, I feel like I'm in a completely different place in my life. And that's kind of funny to say because I'm living in the same apartment, I have a lot of the same friends, I'm working at the same job. But my internal landscape, the me that's inside and the life that I'm living is extremely different. I feel so much more capable than I did a year ago when I started challenging myself to move and grow. And I can attribute that to the commitments that I made to myself about the things that I wanted to do. I would never have really been able to do that if I hadn't sat down and said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to commit to doing it, and then following through. Despite the fact that I have a colored past and I've done some pretty interesting things, I will be the first to admit that I was leading a very small life. And not that my life is big now, but it's definitely growing and moving in a direction that's more interesting and exciting and vibrant for me. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm also really grateful for the experience to know that there's more inside of me and that I can do more than I thought I could. So I just wanted to share that in case there's someone out there who also would like to start pushing themselves outside of their comfort zones. And as someone who's easily overwhelmed, the best route that I have found is to introduce one new habit at a time. And once I'm comfortable with that new task, enough to not really have to stress or think about it, then I can move on to adding a new task. And then here I am a year later and I'm living a fairly different life than I was a year ago. And if you're not somebody who's inhibited by crippling anxiety about everything, then I'm very happy for you, and I hope that you have your ways of going about things, and I'd actually really enjoy hearing about them because I feel like as I've sort of learned to live with my anxiety and move through it, it's very useful for me to see other people's viewpoints and how they go about things and how they build their schedules and talk about the way they stick to their disciplines, because I'm no longer having to lean on the crutches of what I had to do to work around my anxiety. I can kind of explore other options now. So please give me the info. Let me drink from your fountain of knowledge. And to anyone else who also deals with anxiety, my heart goes out to you, and I hope that you are finding some peace and can work towards getting all the things you want out of your life because you deserve them, because you're lovely and beautiful. So with that, I'll say, don't underestimate your capabilities. You have so much more inside of you than you could ever know. And take care of yourself.